All parties in the opposition have some complaint or the other with this railway budget of PK Bansal. The political debate on the railway budget features this evening Sanjay Nirupam of the Congress Party, Piyush Goyal, Treasurer and BJP MP, Derek O'Brien, Chief Whip and TMC MP, and Dr. Manoj Jha, who's spokesperson of the RJD. Now, Sanjay Nirupam, you know, on the face of it, there are no passenger hikes. But the opposition says that precisely is the problem. That on the face of it, there are no hikes. But under the layers in many other ways, you've camouflaged hikes in this railway budget. You're just not being open about it.
Arnab, you must understand one thing, that Indian Railway is losing 24,000 crore rupees. There is a loss of 24,000 crore rupees. One. Second, because of the hike in the diesel prices, last year, Railway's extra burden was 3,000 crore. This year, it is going to be 5,100 crore. So somehow, some way, you have to readjust it. And for that purpose, the Honorable Rail Minister has focused on those charges or those fees which has not been revised for a long time, like Tatkal or cancellation charge or reservation charges. And I think this kind of steps should be accepted.
Should be accepted, Piyush. Why have you let go of your economist hat, the chartered accountant hat, when you criticize this budget?
Not at all, Arnab. That's the only hat I always have. If they were to do some good things, I would be the happiest fellow on earth. Unfortunately, first of all, to correct Sanjay Nirupam ji, the loss of 24,000 is not a loss of the railways. It's the under-recovery from the passenger fares, some of which is loaded on the freight, and I think net the railways are still in profit, which is a good thing. One can compliment Bansal ji for at least giving us a revenue surplus budget. But the sad part is I see no vision in this budget. I don't see any big picture where he wants to see this railways 10 years from now. Is there going to be a network of high-speed trains that this government will implement? Are they going to complete the 347 ongoing projects, some of which have overruns of up to 140% and time overrun almost all the projects? Have they focused any attention to that? You have projects as far back as 1975 which are still under implementation and hardly provided measly sums of money to complete. As regards safety, passenger safety, a lot of noise is made, but no significant cash is shown on the table to implement it. And he says the finance minister doesn't provide me enough funds, so I cannot provide.
No, but why is Rajnath Singh complaining about passenger hikes? I mean, when the last hike I remember was in 2002 when Nitish Kumar was railway minister under NDA government. No, it wasn't a completely modest hike. I mean, I first want an answer on the question of, you have taken a very, 1 minute, sir. You've taken a very principled position, not you, your party president. Passengers should not be troubled. There should be no passenger hikes. Why did you hike prices in 2002? Why?
We have hiked prices not in 2002. We've had modest increases in prices as and when it was required, and the railways turned around during our period very well.
You had an 8 to 13% increase in AC fares, so I don't think that was modest. It wasn't modest.
No, but my friend,
this is modest compared to what you did.
And twice in 1 year. They increased it last year and they increased it again in January. So, by the way, for 9 years, because of their political compulsions, they were unable to set the pricing structure right. Now
Sanjay
they want
Nirupam,
to suddenly, in an era of very high double-digit inflation,
so
add to the woe of the passenger. That is what is.
So Sanjay Nirupam, you hiked it by 21% in January. There is no relief for the common man.
And before that, for the upper class.
You have already hiked rates in January by 21%. So you are guilty of the charge the BJP puts that you are not sensitive to the plight of the common man. You've already burdened him in January.
Arnab, you have rightly said that since 2002, Indian Railways has never increased the passenger fare. But somehow you have to readjust your own budgetary system. Secondly, 63,000 crore rupees are being earmarked for the plant fund. So somehow you have to develop it. You have to basically go ahead with your development plan. As far as 347 ongoing projects are concerned, Rail Minister has already announced that these projects are going to be taken on the priority basis and these are going to be completed this year only.
Derek O'Brien says, what I understand. Derek O'Brien, Trinamool Congress says you in the process you've also ignored Bengal. Let's get them in. What does define ignoring Bengal? Define ignoring Bengal.
I think we will come. Sure, we will come to ignoring Bengal. It's more than ignoring Bengal. It's killing Bengal. I'll answer that point very soon, Arnav. But the big picture. Where is the objective for this budget? Trinamool Congress railway ministers in the past have outlined in the first paragraph of their railway budget what is the objective. This may be some family objective which I don't know about, but our objective for railway budgets is there has to be economic viability along with social responsibility. We believe that the railways have a social responsibility. Number one. Number two, who is the consumer when they are writing this when they are writing this budget? Is the consumer the common person who's traveling by train? Absolutely not, because there's nothing in it for him, there's nothing in it for her.
What about economic viability? One second. On economic viability.
One single big idea.
No, on economic viability. Derek O'Brien,
not a single big idea in this budget.
Your party leader.
Now come to Bengal. To answer your question on Bengal.
Can we debate economic viability?
Or no, there's a feedback coming on my microphone.
One sec. On economic viability.
Bengal has been treated with a vengeance, and they've played dirty politics with Bengal, and before that they played dirty politics with the people of the country, the Congress party, because they put up the prices, as you rightly said.
You're going to have to define that. You know, you're going to have to define that. You have used phrases such as killing Bengal. No, 1 minute, Derek. You've said killing Bengal. You've said dirty politics with Bengal. Are you aware that of the budgetary allocation in 2012 and 13, which was allocated for, say, one of the metro links, Dum-Dum-Nowapar, 80% of it could not be utilized?
Yes.
80% of it could not be utilized. So please tell me what do you mean by killing Bengal?
No, I have all the figures with me. This is a subject I'm very familiar with.
No, you tell me about, explain killing Bengal in financial terms.
I'll tell you about each project. Nowapara, the outlay from 1,050 crores, this time the outlay is 170 crores. I have a long list here.
So what are you alleging? What are you alleging?
Total for Bengal.
No, what are you alleging?
For Bengal, I am alleging two things. I'll come to Bengal. First, I'm not alleging. I can give you factual reasons. There is not a single big idea in this budget. The common person has been absolutely forgotten in this budget. It's a little
take a question?
Family club budget for...
Now, Derek O'Brien.
Can I for a few people.
One second. I think Sanjay Nirupam wants to counter you. Is that Manoj Jha? Is that Manoj Jha coming in?
150. Bengal has got zero. This is vengeance. This is
Derek O'Brien.
Politics.
Derek O'Brien, Manoj wants to come in. We open up the debate in a minute.
Will give the answer. The people of Bengal will give the Congress party the answer.
1 minute. Manoj Jha wants to say something to you. Manoj Jha of the RJD wants to say something to you. The debate is opening up in a minute.
UP, Bihar, everybody.
Manoj Jha to Derek O'Brien, please. Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah. Now, what I was saying that in an election year, when the election is impending, you actually expect a dream budget. In fact, it is a nightmare budget. When I say nightmare budget, Arnab, I'm very sure that it is the most unfriendly budget for the people who actually matter in the railway network.
I'm getting feedback.
I believe that economy is important and economic health is important. Look at three important factors, Arnab, and which I want the nation through you, your channel, to come to know. There is a factory ready at Daryapur, executed by L&T, the Ministry of Railway has not evolved mechanism to take it over. The project which was on a higher stage in Delhi on Son has been withdrawn. I don't know what happens to the economic viability. Third, what is very important, there was an engine factory in Madhepura that has also been put in a deep fridge. What I mean to say, that if Ministry of Railways is concerned about economic viability and sustainability, which was the opening remark of Mr. Pawan Bansal, I believe his budget propositions utterly lack and summarily fails to give any confidence to the people of India.
Manoj Jha, give me a minute.
Arnab, just
Manoj, I've got your standard opening remarks. Now let's get very specific on the Newshour debate. To Derek O'Brien, my first counter is this. I think you haven't read the budget, Derek, because if you had, you would have found that it lists that funds have been allotted for the East-West Metro Corridor in Kolkata. 7 new trains have been introduced. 7 trains have been extended. The frequency of 2 trains have been increased. Now you speak about the Dum-Dum-Nuapar link.
Yes.
80%, one minute please, allow me to complete,
Go ahead.
80% of the funds could not be utilized. In the other 3 metro expansion projects too, the funds are unutilized because of land acquisition issues. Unless the state can fix its own troubles on land acquisition issues, why do you blame the centre for neglect?
Excellent. To your first charge,
Observation.
that we have not read the budget. Not only it's from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we had a press conference at 5. Not only have we read the budget, but we've spent, not only myself, but 20 of my colleagues have gone through this pink book in the 4-5 hours. So please, we have read the budget. I'm going to answer each of your charges. East-West Metro, the total project is 9,000 crores. Sorry, 4,800 crores. 4,800 crores. The allocation, the outlay is 100 crores. Who are they kidding? Now, I'll give you a list of projects.
Are the land acquisition issues settled?
Or no, this is not about a political spin about land acquisition. This is about reality.
But that is the reality.
I'll give you 5 facts. 5 facts. Dankuni, 265 crores for the project. The project is ready. They've allocated 19 crores. Tarakeshwar, Bishnupur, 550 crores. Guess how much? They've allocated 20 crores.
Okay, Sanjay Nirupam, I got your broad point. Sanjay Nirupam, are you being vindictive? Sanjay Nirupam, are you being vindictive towards Mamata Banerjee because she has walked out of your alliance? Are you taking revenge on Mamata Banerjee?
Of course they've done.
Are you taking revenge on Mamata Banerjee through the budget?
Arnab, just give me 2 minutes. Let me clarify the charges made by Mr. Derek O'Brien. For last 16 years in our country, the rail budgets were being made or being prepared, keeping in mind a particular state by the rail minister. For the first time, after 16 years, a rail budget has been made or prepared for keeping the whole nation in mind. For 1 minute. One minute, please.
It starts with Rai and ends with Bareilly.
The whole nation. It is.
That's your nation.
Please let me complete. If you don't mind, please let me complete. I listened to you very patiently. Raebareli is in India. It is not in Pakistan. If the rail budget is going to focus on all over the country, the Raebareli and Amethi will have to be taken into account. What is wrong in it? Second point, wagon factory is there. For the wagon factory, you need a wheel factory. So the wheel factory is coming in the premises of the steel factory. Nothing wrong in it.
I understand.
In this rail budget, our rail minister has tried to focus on each and every part of the country, and I'm very happy. 1 minute. Nobody is killing Bengal. Nobody is playing dirty politics with anyone. Rather, TMC is playing dirty politics with Congress and UPA government and the rail budget.
Read this.
Gentlemen, can I please request both of you, to just give me a moment. Now, a big charge is being made here that this is a Raebareli rail budget. Piyush, is this a Raebareli budget?
Yes.
Or, if
Well,
you don't
yes,
mind my saying so, is it an Ahmedabad budget? Because when I look at this, allow me to complete. When I went through the rail budget, and I find that Ahmedabad has been mentioned 10 times by the railway minister in his budget speech. Raebareli is mentioned 6 times by the railway minister in his budget speech. Should I then go ahead and conclude that the railway minister P.K. Bansal is deliberately keeping Narendra Modi happy? I mean, is there any basis to your charge that this is a Raebareli budget? Do you agree with that assessment that Derek O'Brien's making tonight?
It's not a question of how many times it's mentioned. It's a question of one constituency which happens to be represented by a family. So if we are going to have that kind of sycophancy within a budget, it certainly is a matter of concern, which is the concern we have raised. As regards Ahmedabad, kindly see that the mention has not really meant any significant outflow or outlay on funds.
I think you're incorrect.
And of course, there is a fear psychosis of the emerging mass leader in the country and the emerging icon of this country. That fear psychosis is reflected in almost all the actions of the government.
Because in this budget, every part of the country has been taken into consideration. Because Indian Railway is not for a particular
What about
state.
Mumbai? Sanjay Bhai, you both come from Mumbai.
It has to
What about
operate
Mumbai?
all over the country. 2 crore rail passengers are traveling every day.
I'll come to you, Derek and Manoj. Let Sanjay Jha complete. Let Sanjay Nirupam complete.
I mean, you cannot blame rail minister to bring Arunachal Pradesh on the rail network. You cannot condemn rail minister
you must
to bring
understand,
Jammu and
Sanjay
Kashmir
Nirupam.
on the rail network because these
Sanjay
areas
Nirupam.
are neglected.
Sanjay Nirupam, let me ask you a counter. Derek O'Brien coming to you. Let me ask you a counter. First of all, you cannot equate Raebareli with Ahmedabad in terms of the size, the population, the nodal significance, and the fact that it is right next to the capital of Gujarat. You cannot make that comparison.
All right.
How is it?
All right.
How is it, Sanjay Nirupam? You have a new forged wheel factory at Raebareli. You have an MOU signed with the Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited for that. You have doubling of the Raebareli-Amethi line.
Yes.
You have the new line, Faizabad-Lalganj, which goes via Raebareli. You have an express line, which goes via Raebareli and Pratapgarh. And you have a Kolkata-Agra Express weekly, if I am not mistaken, which goes through both Raebareli and Amethi. Tell me, Sanjay Nirupam, is this normal?
Important in this. I'm responding to your question. Arnab, only 2 points are important. One is Raebareli coach factory. See, if you are making coach in Raebareli, you cannot produce wheel far away from Raebareli. What is wrong in having a wheel factory in the premises of Raebareli? One. Second point, Raebareli and Amethi, if you are connecting these 2 cities, important cities of UP, what is wrong in it? But besides connecting these 2 cities, there are more than 20 cities being connected through Indian Railway in this budget of Uttar Pradesh. So I don't see anything wrong in it. And
Derek O'Brien
Rail Minister has taken
Derek O'Brien doesn't seem to be buying your argument.
Cities.
Derek doesn't seem to be buying your argument. Derek, go ahead, please, first. Yes.
See,
Derek is biased.
I don't
Derek
think we
is
need to make
biased.
this a
Derek, you are
political
biased,
argument
says the
today,
Congress.
because people who are
yes,
watching,
thank you. Please
hear me
continue.
out or no?
Derek is biased, Derek is prejudiced.
What is the objective? There is no objective. Is there a social responsibility? No. Is there a single big idea in this railway budget? Is there a single big idea like...
What is the announcement of e-ticketing?
How do we marry freight? How do we marry freight and road transport? Has the concept been taken over of roll-on, roll-off? Where road transport and the trains have to work together to move goods. Any ideas? No ideas like this.
What about
Bengal politics with vengeance? That's another story. But more importantly, there is nothing, and there are these dangerous footnotes because the Congress, in their classic Congress style, the fine art of the Congress, they have already done the rail hike 21%. earlier. They've already done that. So today, they say there's no rail hike.
No,
So
I find it very
basically-
interesting.
Basically,
I find it very interesting.
no ideas. The poor, the common man has lost out, and there's no big picture.
No, I find it extremely interesting tonight.
Arnab, can I
Okay,
come in
Manoj wants to come in. Then I want to make an observation about the stance that Piyush Goyal is taking on the Newshour tonight. Piyush Goyal is taking
Arnab.
a politically astute stance. I wonder why. I'm coming to you in a minute. Manoj first.
Yeah. Arnab, I just wanted to make a minor premise in this entire debate. The first minor premise is that in this entire budget, what I find that the supply of labor which comes from Bengal, Bihar and Eastern UP, that labor which travels in ordinary unreserved classes, there has been no specific mention of, what kind of amenities are available to them. They are not simply herds. They also contribute to the economy. Number one. Number two, there was a very strong vision document in 2006 which talked about transfer of surface transport baggage of carriage to railways through dedicated freight corridors. And I'm amazed to see that Mr. Bansal, despite making commitment 2 months back, his entire budgetary speech today, in fact,
Piyush
falls
Goyal,
much short of it.
got your point. Piyush Goyal, my counter question to you is this. Take a position on it. Do you believe that Mamata Banerjee, who you are now eyeing as a potential ally in the future, if she wants to ally with you, of course, led the railways to financial ruin?
I personally would like to keep the debate on the railway budget now, but as far as your question is concerned,
this is
I think
directly
it's
on the
the
railway
collective
budget because you began.
responsibility of the UPA.
No.
Arnab,
Why
it is the collective responsibility of the cabinet. Every budget presented by any leader is a budget of the cabinet.
Okay, then
I
let's keep it
suspect
focused.
this budget also represents the UPA as much as
Don't dodge
Mamata's
my
last 3
question.
or 4 budgets.
Since you are
did.
making an
It's
attempt-
a failure of UPA.
Since you are making an attempt to
which has
dodge my
caused this
question.
mess in the railway.
Sanjay Nirupam says tonight.
Not at all. I'm saying
Sanjay
that
Nirupam says
railways are
tonight.
a mess.
Yeah.
Because
Sanjay
of the
Nirupam says tonight,
mismanagement
Piyush Goyal.
by the UPA government.
Sanjay Nirupam began by saying this, that we have to maintain some amount of fiscal prudence. Okay? Now, Mamata Banerjee's decision,
let me just,
Mamata
Arnab, 1 minute.
Banerjee's policy not to fix
Arnab.
passenger fares on any basis of commercial logic led to the railways' losses in passenger operations. Derek, allow me to complete, to rise to 25,000 crores in 2012-2013, which is a 4-fold increase over 2004-2005.
It's a way of
Which
looking
means
at life.
Sanjay Nirupam
If
is
the
saying
Congress
that
party
the
believes-
UPA works in compartments, the UPA works in compartments, and the rail budget is of the rail minister and not of the
How can
cabinet,
you-
not of the UPA. If that is the stance of Sanjay Nirupam,
No.
then I feel sorry for this government which has led this country to this mess, this fiscal imprudence,
So you're-
not only in railways, in the entire economy.
Sanjay
Because they
Nirupam-
speak with different voices, different departments. The finance minister changes,
Sanjay
he just
Nirupam.
curses the earlier one and puts all the blame on him.
Sanjay
A new,
Nirupam-
railway
Arnab, a
minister
good point,
puts
a
all
good
the
point.
blame on the old one.
Sanjay Nirupam,
What
the
kind of a
BJP says,
government is
Sanjay
this?
Nirupam, the BJP says you should take the responsibility for the decisions of Mamata Banerjee now, instead of trying to wash your hands away from what happened. If the railways is in this situation today, then you should take responsibility for it instead of trying to pin the blame on Mamata Banerjee and saying we are doing a cleanup act for what she did when she was railway minister. Your response to the BJP, please.
And do they work in compartments?
Thank the Lord.
Arnab,
Thank the Lord. she
Arnab,
was railway minister.
Arnab, Rail Minister, Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal, while giving his speech in the Parliament, has aptly said that there are problems in railways and we have to take some corrective measures. And of course, because for last 7-8 years or 9 years or so or more than that, no passenger tariff was increased. No effort was done to create more revenue generation.
This is Congress
The
double
government,
speak.
the government of India and the Minister of Railway has to take the
Let him complete,
responsibility
gentlemen.
and taking corrective measures in this regard.
This is Congress
Arnab.
double speak or no, because they made
Arnab.
they made the increase.
Arnab.
They made the increase of 21%. And let us make the distinction between Trinamool Congress and Congress. Trinamool Congress believes the objectives of the railways is more than economic viability. There is a social role. The Congress doesn't think so. So be it. So be it.
You cannot.
Can Sanjay Nirupam as a minister?
Derek, Derek, 1 minute.
Sanjay is responding to Derek.
Derek, please 1 minute. Derek, just 1 minute. Just a minute. Derek, just 1 minute.
Arnab.
You have been saying about the social responsibility. Even we believe in that thing. But for that purpose, you cannot kill your railways. It has to be economically viable. To create economical viability,
Beautiful.
you have to increase some.
I'll give you some ideas.
Some tariffs. You have to increase You have to increase your
Mr. Congress Party,
and for that purpose, you have to revise your charges.
Come on the floor of Parliament.
You cannot just avoid revision
Come
of
on
the
the
charges.
floor of Parliament when the railway budget is being debated. In the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Trinamool Congress will give you some ideas. Use our ideas.
We all will get opportunity
Use
to
idea of
express
roll on
our
and roll
views.
off.
Nothing wrong in it.
So you use some of the ideas, nah? Don't penalize the common man. You use some innovative ideas for freight. You use some
I'm getting in 1 minute. Gentlemen, the problem is that you have
West Bengal is a trainee railway minister in a minority government.
you must understand, Derek O'Brien, that it's not a West Bengal railway budget. It's a railway budget for the country.
Of course it's not.
It's a railway budget for the country.
Exactly.
That is what I'm saying.
No, so you have no 1 second. Derek O'Brien, Derek, 1 second. 1 second. I am simply raising the question of fiscal prudence.
Let me tell you.
I am raising the question of fiscal prudence.
Can I respond to fiscal prudence?
I am raising the question of fiscal prudence. And the question of fiscal prudence is this.
Arnab, can I highlight that?
On the question of fiscal prudence, I am getting in Piyush Goyal, please. Piyush Goyal.
Arnab,
Yeah,
you are
please,
raising
I need
issues
to
on
speak on fiscal prudence
but
that they are
Piyush
claiming.
Goyal is talking about political prudence, and he is desperately seeking Mamta. No matter what kind of, your concern is all right, Arnab.
Well,
Fiscal prudence.
Manoj,
But Mr. Goyal's concern
Mr.
is
Jha may have his own
that
views.
is evident.
But Arnab, when we talk of fiscal prudence, and the Honourable Minister has talked of it that I'm trying to set things right, look at what he does. At the same time, he talks of employing 1.52 lakh new employees in a department which everybody knows is already overstaffed and needs to improve its efficiency. Where is that money going to come from? The Honourable Minister also talks of a number of new projects, but makes paltry sums of money allocated for those projects, which means that Arunachal Pradesh or Baramulla will see the rail lines after 25 years. At the same time, he talks of a paradigm shift. I saw the meaning of paradigm shift. It's a fundamental change in approach. Where is that fundamental change in approach? All that he does is make a long, boring speech of minor tinkering here and there, few stations here and a few stations there. But where do we see concern to really change the number of accidents that take place? He's using a statistic of the accidents per million kilometers, but he doesn't realize that the railway network has grown, number of passengers has grown.
The
accidents are more in number, deaths are more in number.
You for a moment?
So he's just playing with statistics, but really not giving us anything significant in terms of passenger safety also.
Yes, Manoj.
To add to that.
Yeah.
Yes, Manoj.
What I was telling.
I'm coming to you, Derek, 1 minute.
In fact,
yes, Mr. Manoj.
Yeah, what I was telling Mr. Goyal, that since morning I have been listening to BJP leaders. What amazes me and shocks me, that as a major political party, they don't have an alternative vision. The only attempt in this budget, what I find, unlike us, which we are positioning ourselves on certain basic parameters of the budget, their only concern is to have political prudence and draw organizations like Mamta Banerjee's political outfit. On a day of budget, talk about fundamental issues ailing Indian Railways.
Well, our vision is far deeper and
Mr.
Well,
Goyal,
Manojji, if Arnab allows me a few more minutes, I can draw a vision how this railway can be completely
Goyal,
turned in 5 years.
Piyush Goyal,
Mr.
Piyush
Goyal,
you have
talk
failed.
about the movement of people by Indian Railways.
You have failed to take a position on fiscal prudence. On the show tonight, you have failed to take a position on fiscal prudence because, one minute, because by the railway minister's own admission, the hike in fuel charges had offset a lot of the revenue that he hoped to generate by raising fares. Despite that, there is no announcement on fare
Arnab,
hikes.
a paradigm.
No. If you want a paradigm shift,
Arnab, a paradigm shift means
Are you saying that
you look at innovative methods of raising revenue. You look at monetizing the large land bank. Go to Mumbai. There's so many railway stations. You can build on that. You can raise large revenues of that. Do you know a Rajdhani train comes from Mumbai to Delhi in 16 hours? Whereas the speed of that train is 150 kilometers per hour. A 1300 kilometer distance, it covers in 16 hours. Why can the Rajdhani not
Why didn't you do that in 2002?
Twice in a day?
Where was your paradigm shift in 2002?
Take 5 days from Mumbai to Delhi.
When Nitish Kumar was the railway minister,
Well,
what happened
Arnab,
to
all
the
the time
paradigm
we're
shift
going to
then?
discuss those 10-year-old story. You all the time talking about 10-year-old story like your Congress friends.
it is all-
There is so
it is
much
all,
that could have been done in the last 9 years. Why don't we ask them why they didn't do it in 9 years?
I am directly asking Sanjay Nirupam tonight. Sanjay Nirupam, do you admit all you've done is a balancing act? It's a pure 100% balancing act. You haven't raised fares as much as you would have wanted to maintain fiscal prudence. You have announced massive employment for a railway infrastructure that is already stretched and which wants almost 100,000 extra crore rupees to keep itself afloat. You've done a balancing act, Mr. Sanjay Nirupam. Would you admit tonight, under the onslaught of the Congress, of the BJP, Trinamool Congress and the RJD, you've only done a balancing act in this budget?
See, I don't see anything wrong in doing balancing act. You have to basically try to create a financial prudence at the same time. You have to try to fill up the vacancies which are lying for a long time. 1 lakh plus vacancies are there. We are not adding new recruitments or like that. So somehow you have to create railways viable. One. Second, provide more safety. And thirdly, provide more amenities. And for that purpose, you need more staff, more employees, and at the same time, a very economically viable railway operation.
100,000 jobs.
For that,
100,000 jobs.
One minute.
In an
for
already.
That purpose, 1 minute. For that.
100,000 jobs. What is the financial burden?
A 5% increase in passenger traffic.
A very balanced budget, having positive attitude, and a great objective to take care of the whole nation.
Derek O'Brien, last couple of words.
Budget.
Last response to the Congress representative. He's had his hand up for some time. Yes, Derek.
You've used a very nice expression on a balancing act. This government cannot do any balancing act because the government itself is off balance. So when you are off balance, you don't know when you're going to fall down. So there's nothing. So he's using things like balanced budget, positive. The facts are very different. I know Sanjay Nirupam has to come and do his job as the Congress spokesperson. But today what you saw in the Lok Sabha, every party from UP to Bengal to Assam to Tamil Nadu to everywhere, they were all in the well of the house. So the 2 points today, one is the focus of who is this budget for, who gets into the train that was lost across the country. And the second, this Congress have done such vengeance with Bengal in the way they...
Vengeance with Bengal. I give 3 more minutes into this vengeance with Bengal angle. No, 1 minute. I'm extending the debate by 3 minutes.
Dirty politics.
Two small observations.
No, 1 second. Piyush Goyal, 1 minute. Vengeance with Bengal.
Please don't use this kind
small
of
observations going beyond Bengal.
No, 1 second. I want to settle the vengeance with Bengal issue.
Own rail budget. This rail budget is for the whole nation.
This is not a rail budget for Bengal,
it's not
Derek
for the whole
O'Brien.
nation.
And by the way, let's settle this vengeance with Bengal issue. I have a quote of the general manager of the Metro Railways, which is an Indian railway outfit. Listen to me clearly, Derek. Let's settle this, you've killed Bengal, vengeance with Bengal, etc. argument. Right? The general manager, Metro Railway, has also blamed Mamata Banerjee's...
To your quote.
What are you saying?
I said I'll respond to your quote after I listen to it.
Yeah, I'm saying. So the general manager of the Metro Railway has blamed Mamata's hands-off policy towards land acquisition that has resulted in a delay in metro projects. The accusation is that your state government is not clearing the files related to land acquisitions for metro projects despite several meetings. Now, you can't clear your land acquisition projects. And you keep complaining.
Please understand.
No, you 1 second. You
Please
prove to me
understand.
right here,
I'll
right
give you the
now on
facts.
the Newshour tonight that you have cleared the land acquisition projects.
Please
Prove it to me.
Let me give you the facts of the case. Your speciality is you'll pull out one general manager quote.
Well, I can pull out many more.
The bottom line is, the bottom line is, if you examine what 9,500 crores allocated to Bengal, this time it's a pittance. This time it's a pittance.
There is no.
This is the political game the Congress is playing. This is nothing to do with land acquisition. What about projects in Dankuni, Kansapara, or no?
No, let's get a counter.
Understand.
Let's get a counter.
Last one point.
This is a
Let's get a counter. No, I want to settle this business. I want to settle where the Congress party and Mamata Banerjee are settling scores. Settling political scores.
This is a West Bengal debate as a railway debate.
Mamata is not settling political scores. Mamata Banerjee is not. The Congress party.
Arnab, it is really very unfortunate.
Sanjay Nirupam is responding one last time.
Brain is making only political statement with regard to the rail budget.
25 days ago. Why did they raise the fares 25 days ago?
The rail budget has tried to focus on the each and every part of the country.
Sanjay Nirupam, tell me one big idea in this budget. One big idea.
I'm
like
making
one big idea.
Like Jammu and Kashmir, like
one big idea in this budget.
Punjab.
1 second, Piyush Goyal, this is not only about Bengal, it's a larger point being made, and I'll tell you why. The reason I'm making...
Of course it's a larger point.
1 minute.
Of course it is.
The reason I'm making this point is because Sanjay Nirupam has admitted that in the past, railway budgets are used to give out political favors to states where people want to give political favors. Let me ask you, Sanjay Nirupam, why did you have a 6,000 crore budgetary allocation for West Bengal in 2011-2012 when you were friends with Mamata Banerjee? Now that your political relationship has gone sour, you've reduced that to 475 crores. Let's forget the 475 crores. I am asking you tonight, why did you give 6,000 crores when you were friends? The railways is not the private property of any party to be giving favors to a political party when they are allies.
Arnab, let me admit this fact that it is really very unfortunate that whichever rail minister comes, he basically tries to focus on his own state.
But the rail minister reports to the Prime Minister.
For the first time. So what? 1 minute. One minute. Arnab, please 1 minute.
You know, Arnab, let me tell you something lighthearted.
Both are
cabinet.
1 minute. Mamata
the
Banerjee
previous
both are rail minister,
on
part
the
of UPA. And
now it's becoming one constituency, not even the state.
Putting focus on the whole nation, she just concentrated on the West Bengal. But this new rail minister is not parochial. This new rail minister is not making any state-centric...
Settling the debate in 2 minutes.
He is basically trying to focus on the whole nation. So somehow you have to take into account the neglected areas.
Gentlemen, one thing is clear to me, and it's clear to Piyush Goyal as well.
What happened today in Lok Sabha?
No, it's clear to Piyush Goyal as well, who began by saying that I always wear an economist hat. Fact of the matter is, Piyush Goyal, a railway budget is always about politics more than economics. You'll have to admit that.
Let me move beyond this. Let me move beyond this to two important points. This government set up two very important committees: the Anil Kakotkar Committee on Safety Issues and the Sam Pitroda Committee on Modernization of Railways. Unfortunately, lip service has been given. Just a mention of the Anil Kakotkar committee report, no mention also of Sam Pitroda report. Hardly any reference to the ideas that were brought to the fore. I feel very disappointed that
Gentlemen,
two very important steps that could have been taken have not been
but
taken.
points
and
are
now
on the table.
Last very important point for you, Arnab. Arnab, this government has given up on the economy. The national economy is in doldrums, and it is reflected from the fact that in the current year, the freight traffic only increased by 38 million tons. That's less than 3.7%. And for next year, they are targeting only a 40 million ton increase, which is less than 3.9%.
Let's keep the Piyush Goyal, you know that we will debate the economy
for the future.
We will debate the economy at length day after tomorrow when we debate the budget. Only for tonight, I thank you, gentlemen. Look forward to having you all join us on our big budget debates on Thursday. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Thank you.